and shine, ladies and gentlemen, because it's another beautiful day. Hello, I'm Paolo del Rosario. It's another beautiful day that is full of possibilities, and we are ready, so ready to explore them with you.
I'm Monique Tuzon. We'll be diving into some interesting topics, sharing some laughs, and maybe even some life hacks, and of course, food.
So guys, put on your happy face and let's get this day started. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. You know, I don't know about you, but for me, I think it's getting better now, or it's getting easier now to wake up in the morning.
Well,
are you experiencing the same thing?
The food that awaits us most days is at another level, and I'm really excited for it. Actually, I feel this is also going to be a landmark show in different ways. This is the first episode we're going to have a pet involved.
I'm so excited
here in
for
studio.
that.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait.
You have no idea how ready I am for it.
I hope I'm just petting the dog so y'all can do the interviews. I'll just be
That's
chilling
exactly
with the
what
doggy.
Paolo said to
Well,
me.
yeah, we're fighting over
So we'll see.
our animal friend later on. But for the meantime, let's start the day off on a more serious note. Here are the stories that is making the headline today. The Philippine National Police has responded to criticisms regarding the presentation of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy last Monday. This came after the PNP faced criticism online for the alleged providing of, quote, special treatment to prominent prisoners, including Quiboloy and the former Bamban mayor, Alice Guo. Some even questioned the authenticity of the inmates who were shown to the public.
We really cannot force them na ipakita yung kanilang mukha. Nakaposas po sila, but they requested na takpan po yun. At ganun din naman po yung ginawa natin sa iba, na tinakpan yung kanilang mga posas, naglagay po sila ng face mask.
The PNP was also criticized for its blurred mugshots of Quiboloy.
Yun po yung polisiya po ng PNP bilang pagsunod na rin po sa advisory and guidance po ng Commission on Human Rights na we should not be exposing po yung kanilang pagkakakilanlan. Doon lamang po tumutungtong ang PNP kung bakit po binlur po yung kanilang mga muka, at yun po ang personal na request po ni ng Pastor Quiboloy at yung kanilang abogado po.
Fajardo adds all accused are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But yesterday, the DILG has also released clear mugshots of the arrested KOJC leader. The associate of former Bamban Mayor Alice Guo, Cassandra Ong, may be imprisoned for life if found guilty in the case of qualified trafficking in persons. Lee Ong, an incorporator of Pogo landowner Whirlwind Corporation, is facing a non-bailable charge of qualified human trafficking, with 53 others tied to the aided Pogo operator Lucky South 99. PNP's Criminal Investigation and Detection Group and Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOC, filed a complaint at the Justice Department on Tuesday. Ong is identified in the document as an incorporator of Whirlwind Corporation holding a beneficial ownership to 58% shareholdings, and as an authorized representative of Lucky South 99. The complaint also names Lucky South 99 Secretary Ronaldin Baterna, Duan Ren Wu, and Dennis Cunanan. 14 victim witnesses, including 10 foreign workers and 4 Filipinos, arrived at DOJ, claiming they were kidnapped and forced to work in Lucky South 99 after failing to pay off their debt in gambling casinos. Apart from these non-bailable raps, Guo and Ong also face 87 counts of money laundering filed by the Anti-Money Laundering Council, National Bureau of Investigation, and PAOC last August. A former international news editor in Beijing suggests China's illegal offshore gaming operations in the Philippines may be a long-game strategy to gain control over the Philippine economy. In an interview in BNC's Agenda, former Global Times news editor David Nye said China wants to turn the Philippines into one of their lackey countries. According to the journalist, the East Asian giant possibly sees the rules and laws in the Philippines as very, quote, lax, and takes advantage of this. In July, President Bongbong Marcos ordered the closure of all Philippine offshore gaming operations.
Meanwhile, suspended Energy Regulatory Commission chairperson Mona Lisa de Malanta on Tuesday said her camp will be filing a motion for reconsideration once they receive a copy of the complaint filed against her, which is the basis of the Ombudsman's ongoing probe. Speaking to BNC's Agenda, de Malanta said she has a copy of the order from the Ombudsman, but has yet to receive a copy of the complaint filed by the National Association of Electricity Consumers for Reforms Incorporated, or NASECOR.
Aralan po ng mga abogado ko kung paano po namin sasagutin kasi po gusto sanang mag-file namin agad ng motion for reconsideration on this preventive suspension order so that we can fully explain.
The Ombudsman's office has placed de Malanta under a 6-month preventative suspension to prevent further misconduct. The suspension stems from a December case alleging de Malanta allowed Meralco to purchase electricity without ERC approval, arguing the buying process does not include distribution utilities. The Metro Clark Waste Management Corporation has filed criminal and administrative complaints before the Ombudsman against senior officials of the Basis Conversion Development Authority, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and Clark Development Corporation. The officials' unjust termination of a sanitary landfill contract in Capas, Tarlac has been deemed illegal by Metro Clark Vice President Victor Hontiveros. Hontiveros claims BCDA used its authority to limit operations until October 5, as the existing 50-year contract is valid until the year 2049. He warned that it could trigger a potential garbage crisis as over 30 local government units rely on the landfill for waste disposal.
In news abroad, America's most anticipated debate is set today in Philadelphia ahead of the November 5 elections. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump will battle face-to-face in a high-stakes showdown. While Harris has the upper hand in most opinion polls, her Republican rival is still within striking distance. The square-off in Philly will be a chance for Harris to show off against an adversary who belittled her intelligence. Meanwhile, Trump could use the chance to try and upend the Democrats' bets momentum.
Exciting and nerve-wracking, and there's a lot of tension in this country, so I just can't wait for this debate to help American citizens decide on who to vote for.
Generally, I think it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm interested to hear what both individuals have to say. I haven't swayed who I'm going to vote for, but I still want to hear what all parties have to say, though.
Watch Harris and Trump's presidential debate later here on BNC at 8:45 a.m. In entertainment, ready your engines and your driver's license. Phil and pop star Olivia Rodrigo is bringing Guts World Tour to Manila. Her first ever show in the country is set on October 5 at the Philippine Arena in Bulacan. Ticket sales begin this Saturday, September 14, 10 a.m. All tickets will be sold at a flat rate of 1,500 pesos, and all net proceeds will go to Olivia's Fund for Good.
Meanwhile, a crossover between two of the biggest acts in P-pop is trending online. Check this out. SB19's Josh Cullen and Beanie's Colette, Joanna, Aya, and Sheena dancing to his song 1999. That track is part of SB19's members' debut solo album, Lost and Found. The video has received over 282,000 likes on TikTok. Have you guys seen it?
I know you're a big fan of
following
P-pop.
the dance step, actually.
But then look, I'm very happy for all of the atin, all the blooms out there who have seen this collaboration finally happen over on TikTok.
Yes.
And it's just going as expected, going wild on social media.
Speaking of TikTok trends, we should have our own version of that dance step.
No, we're good.
I don't think that's gonna work out. I think,
Oh my God!
that's a bad
We'll
idea.
get so many likes for that.
I don't know about that.
We
but
might be the
we'll-
laughing stock of the country.
We'll
I think
see.
the director is saying
we'll talk
yes.
about that with all our producers. That might get us canceled on the show.
Exactly.
I don't know about
Oh yeah,
that.
I was like, we're not doing that. But you know what we're doing is food. Up next, guys, whether you like sauerkraut or not, we'll give you a taste of German cuisine when we return. We speak to a true craftsman in the kitchen to talk about one of the leading franchise German restaurants in the world. So don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. And you're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Welcome back and Guten Tag. If you're German, please don't judge me. I don't think I did a great job. But as we present the world on a plate, this morning we bring you the flavors of Germany. Brotzeit Philippines' very own culinary director, Chef Ivan Maminta, joins us in the studio. Guten Morgen, Chef.
Morgan.
How is my German?
It's good. It's good.
It's good?
You're nice. You're too nice.
It's like American
It's good, it's
German
good.
meets, I don't even know. So Chef, I did a little digging on you,
Did
and
you?
your background is amazing. You have so many credentials. You studied in Zurich, Switzerland, correct?
Yes, in Switzerland. Yes, I have spent my better college years over there in the mid '90s.
So what got you interested in German food?
Well, I did have a mentor who was German, and I worked in different hotels. And in Manila, I was with the Peninsula, so I was working under a German executive chef, and it just developed from there.
Wow, can you tell me more about the developing process? How did you come up with all of this?
Yes, Oktoberfest. We actually developed this for Oktoberfest, for this year's Oktoberfest. We wanted to pair with the beer that is fresh from the tap, so that's why we didn't have it here. We wanted fresh from the tap at 5 degrees centigrade,
Okay.
so that you have to come to Brotzeit to enjoy it.
Yes.
It's a little bit of spicy, a little bit of richness, something that would really go well with enjoying Oktoberfest.
And Chef, I did go to Brotzeit a couple weeks ago, and one of my favorite cocktails was the beer cocktail. I didn't even know there was such a thing. It had the honey, calamansi, and a shot of vodka, surprisingly.
That would be the
so good.
I need that. I think we all need that today.
I don't know
morning,
this
exactly.
morning, but yeah.
That's our like wake up.
I think that's what we call the long drink. I usually
long
have that in the
Long
afternoon
drink.
In the afternoon.
to just
In the morning,
relax.
is there anything for the morning?
We have our famous mojito.
There you go.
Mojito in the morning.
In the morning.
Chef, I think that's missing.
Yes,
the
it is.
lineup.
It
At the
is.
moment, yes.
Yes.
Looking at the spread, I mean, where's the beer? That's the
Exactly.
first thing that I asked Chef when I saw this table. It's like, Chef, where's the beer?
Yes, but if we brought beer here, you won't be able to enjoy it so much because it's
Yes,
not from the tap.
yes,
You know,
right,
but
right.
Chef, just to piggyback on that, Oktoberfest, when you hear Oktoberfest, you think about the beer festivals that's in Germany. You take a look at Brotzeit. What is their thrust this year? What are you looking for when you have designed this particular spread? And can you tell us a bit more about the concepts that you had?
For Oktoberfest this year, we developed a menu where we could develop a community, have friends and family all over, just to share a platter of our best signature dishes and enjoy some traditional street food from Germany. And we developed this, the Brotzeit burger, as we call it. This was developed with 100% ground beef, and it made the top 10 burgers in the Philippines a couple of years back.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And Chef, I know we spoke earlier as well. When you come to Brotzeit, don't come alone because it's a community, like you mentioned, and your servings are huge. I mean, I could probably finish that myself as a matakaw girl.
Yeah.
But how has German food been received here in the Philippines? Because yesterday we had a guest who did Thai food, and he has to kind of tweak Thai food to be a bit more Filipino. Have you guys have to do that with your German
No,
food?
we didn't have to.
Oh, wow, so it's very authentic.
It's very authentic. It's well accepted in the local community. The Germans approve it. The Filipino approve it. Other expats approve it. So we didn't have to do much change. Some things we developed for for the Filipino palate, like the King Henry pork chop over there, which is a 400-gram slice of meat. Very tender, very fork tender, so you don't really need a knife. We developed that for the Filipinos, but other than that, we're very authentic.
All right, so we're seeing the meat being carved here at the moment, but you know, you take a look at what's happening here. You mentioned something that I really was interested in. You mentioned that the beer has to be had in Brotzeit because it has to be served at a certain temperature.
It has the thing.
Beer drinking in the Philippines is very different from beer drinking in Germany because sometimes dito sa Pilipinas, gusto natin may yelo.
Yes.
Beer dito sa Pilipinas. But in Germany, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, that's unheard of.
It's illegal.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
It's really
Seriously?
unheard of. It's really unheard
okay.
of. I wouldn't say it's sacrilegious. Some people actually do it.
Yeah.
Even some expats here.
Yeah.
As long as it's cold, as in drink it as quickly as possible without the ice melting into it,
Yeah.
you're good.
Without the ice melting into it, without it being watered down.
That's correct.
Because it changes the taste of the beer. But I'm guilty of that, chef.
Yeah.
Really, I need a lot of ice in my beer.
It's okay here. It's okay here in the Philippines. Let's try something.
Yeah, you guys should try the
I'm holding
food.
on to my plate now. I'm waiting for
I wish I
I've been
could,
waiting for
but me and
I had
Chef
a
will
fork.
just chat a bit. And y'all, you know what's
Let me give you a
amazing? Brotzeit, actually, Chef, you make your own bread, like this focaccia bread and brioche.
The brioche bun.
They're all made homemade, as well as the pretzels. And I think in Germany there are over 1,500 different sausages.
There are over 1,500
I
different
did a little
sausages.
research
over
on how many sausages
so
Germany
many
has.
regions, yes.
It's a lot, and you guys make yours homemade as well, correct?
Yes, we make our own sausages with our own recipes. You cannot find this anywhere else.
Oh my gosh, Chef.
And-
I want to buy a whole thing, and I can, right? You can buy it frozen and take home.
Yes, we do sell our sausages in retail packs, frozen, fresh frozen, so that you can take it home, enjoy it, and have a sausage fest at home.
Sausage
You know what I
Sorry.
really enjoy, Chef,
I don't
is
know
that
why you
if you're in this side of the table in the studio, you're the one eating while our
Yeah,
other co-host is the one
that's okay.
talking. But we're gonna have this right here. If you were to recommend a first-timer in Brotzeit what to have, what would you suggest that is?
That would be our signature pork knuckle.
That what they're eating.
What
This,
you're eating,
yes.
the Schweinehaxen. The Schweinehaxen has been cooked over a period of 3 days. Over a period of 3 days to get to that level of tenderness and juiciness.
Yes.
And it takes about a lot of beer, a lot of our signature spices that goes into the marinade. And this is Brotzeit. In fact, the skin, if you run your knife on it, is what we call the sound of Brotzeit. The
Can we do a
crispiness.
mukbang on this? May I borrow a
The
knife?
sound.
It's like, are we allowed to do this?
The sound
The sound of
The sound of it,
crispy
yeah, the
skin.
crispy
There you
skin.
go.
Yeah.
It's
You know
so,
that
so
it's-
crispy.
yes.
So this one
And the
is not.
flavor, chef, it's just amazing.
And we're very proud of it.
Yeah.
This is not deep fried. It's not like the crispy pata that you know.
Oh.
It's not deep fried. It's broiled in the oven.
So it's healthy, right?
Yeah.
It's relatively healthy, unlike the crispy pata, because most of the fat has drained out already.
Yes, yes.
So yes, it's still juicy.
I am having too much fun with this. Chef, we're going to wrap up in just a bit, but for all of our viewers out there who want to enjoy Oktoberfest in Brotzeit, could you tell us a bit more about it? And of course, could you promote Brotzeit and all of their Oktoberfest activities happening?
Yes, Brotzeit is hosting Oktoberfest 2024 from the 1st of September until the 10th of November. Branches are located in BGC and in Daang Hari in near Alabang. There'll be games daily at the different Brotzeit branches, and there will be the signature party days from the 27th to the 29th of September. So please,
We'll be
I
there.
invite everyone
And
to
I
come
think you
on.
guys have a band, right? And like the whole outfits and everything,
Yes,
the whole shebang.
we have the Anton show band. They're the
They are
original
Christmas.
festive Oktoberfest band that's gonna make everybody go up on tables and dance the chicken dance.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I can't
That
wait.
sounds so
We'll
exciting.
definitely
We should
be
be
there
there.
because I would
Yeah.
love to see Paolo do the chicken dance.
Go,
I
Paolo.
actually want to know what that dance is right now just so I can practice. But Chef, maraming salamat. We really appreciate you bringing all of this here. And of course, we're
Thank
excited
you,
for Oktoberfest.
Chef.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, I'm ready to eat, so we'll wrap this up real quick. From food, we'll talk about about sports up next as top swimmers from the UAAP gear up for season 87. Members of the UP Varsity team will join us live after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Now, action in the country's college sports scene is in full swing, and the UP Varsity Swim Team wants to make a splash once again in UAP's season 87. Joining us here in the studio are the Iskos and Iskas from Diliman, Luis Lacson, Malia Dignadice, Jeter Villanueva, and also with us are the men's team's captain, Ethan Go, Earl Jude Buncio, and Pepe Mapa. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here. And I would like to say you're welcome because wala kayong training kasi may guesting kayo dito. 5 a.m. normally you train, if I'm not mistaken, Ethan. So I'm going to start off with you kasi ikaw yung captain. You take a look at the preparations of UP this year. Of course, coming off a great year last season. How confident are you na maganda yung ipapakita ng UP sa susunod na season?
Every year, lagi naman kami nagpe-prepare. We do our best in training. We try to balance ayun nga, swimming and academics. And this year is no different naman. And last year and this year, same lang yung confidence ko na we're gonna be able to perform our best this season.
You know what I really like about athletes from UP? They always remind me that they're balancing their academics and their athletics at the same time. That's always trademark from them. Luis, the last time around, the women's team finished as champions, first time in 7 years. Of course, may tradition talaga of winning yung UP women's team. Just how important was that achievement para sa programa, para sa team ninyo, and of course, in terms of the confidence going into next season?
Well, I think having won the championship proves to the team what we're capable of doing and what we're capable of achieving for the further seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having that in mind and for having the team together, I think we're going to be able to strive harder and train harder for the next season.
Malia, iba dapat ba yung mindset ng defending champions kumpara sa chasing a championship for the first time in a very long time? Sa palagay mo ba, do you need to change yung approach ninyo sa season na to, considering that, okay, yung target nasa inyo na eh, defending champions kayo? Peram daw ng mic.
Wala naman po kasi parang every year, same naman po yung goal namin, which is to win champions. Pero nung nanalo kami champions last year and enter kami ng season na champions, medyo may expectations, pressure, pero we're just turning that into motivation po for us to train and to work harder than last season po.
All right, so Earl and Pepe, standing at the back over there, because you're proper gentlemen, are going into the next season holding records, if I'm not mistaken, sa relay in terms of yung performance nyo last time. You take a look at that performance. Is there another level for you guys sa team ninyo? Could you go even beyond the record that you set last season? Sige, Earl, ikaw muna. Sorry. Yeah, so Earl.
I think yes po, kasi
humble
with proper training and improvement na para maabot namin yung next level po.
Pepe, how did you feel when nung nalaman nyo na, okay, we finally had that record, we broke that record, of course, also ended up winning as well. How did you feel that you are holding yung achievement na yun?
It's a really great feeling because, of course, it's an achievement of the whole team also because we all work together, but also for the university. And of course, it's something that, like Jude said, we want to build on this year and maybe even break it again, hopefully.
Is that your own personal goal to try and break that again? Or is that something that's furthest away from your mind?
I don't think it would be my main goal, but of course, if we can achieve that, it would be like a really great feat again.
Okay, perfect. So, of course, Jeter, there at the end, we take a look at the performance of yung women's last time around. Again, first time na nag-champion in 7 years. What was different about the team last season? Ano nakita mo sa grupo na to? What made them special sa palagay mo?
Feeling ko naman like every season namin, lahat kami like unique and special. Siguro nga coming into this season, yung pinanghahawakan ng women's team is nasa amin yung title. And feeling ko lang mas confident kami to defend it this season.
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, girls, maraming freshmen coming into the team this season in particular.
Yes,
How are you helping them develop into champion swimmers? Kasi champion swimmers na kayo eh. How can they get to yung level ninyo?
Siguro like similar din kung paano kami tinulungan ng mga seniors namin sa past seasons. Siguro, yun nga, like, binibigyan lang namin sila ng advice kung, yun nga, more on guidance po talaga coming to this season.
Ethan, that type of culture, that leadership culture that is necessary sa swim team, obviously, because as much as it is an individual sport, it's also very much a team sport in the sense that you're pushing each other every day. Gaano ka importante yung that mentorship, that right type of leadership, yung that positive way of making sure that, okay, in terms of developing, you push each other every single training. Kahit wala kayo sa training ngayon.
It's very important na you're always there for your team, especially, ayun nga, lahat nahihirapan in terms of balancing their ACADS and training. And you have to be there for them to ensure na, no, you're doing great despite everything na you have to fulfill your ACADS and swimming. No, it's gonna work. Just trust the process. Yes, you feel like, siguro you feel like nagkukulang ka sa training kasi mapafocus ka sa ACADS, but you have to trust the process. As long as you're doing your best to balance both, I believe na there will be great results.
Luis, the women's team trying to defend the championship, are you looking at any school in particular? Okay, ito yung siguro biggest threat natin dito. Are you looking at anyone else at the moment, or sobrang naka-laser focus ba kayo sa performance ninyo individually as a group, as a team, that you're not really worried about anyone at the moment?
I think we take all teams like as a threat equally because they're all going to put everything on the line. But I feel like our team is more focused on what we can do and what we can achieve, so that we're more focused on improving and doing what we could to defend the championship.
Malia, how have you seen that improvement sa training nyo, sa preparations ninyo going into this season? What do you feel is a bit different going into this one?
Before po mag-start yung season, we had a training camp, which wala po kaming training camp last season.
Really?
Yes
And then
po.
nag-champion kayo?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
So, this season po, nagkaroon po kami ng training camp with the incoming freshies po, and we had a team building also po. And sa team building po, nag-goal setting po kami. Pero yung goal setting is we do that every season.
Can you reveal kung anong goal ninyo this season?
Mag-champion po.
Mag-champion, okay. Kala ko individual kasi and all of that. But yeah, see, Earl, they talked, I'm assuming nakasama rin kayo doon sa mga camp na yon and all the team building. You mentioned the team goal, but as an individual, as a swimmer, it's obviously hitting that PR every single time you swim. But how are you in terms of progressing to getting to that level? Because at the same time, you already broke the record sa UAP prior in the last season. But what have you done to make sure that, okay, we're gonna get to that next level soon? I mean, it's one thing to say you always practice, but what have you done differently this time around?
Done like, except for training, we did a training camp like, we tried to improve our swimming techniques and our times. for better swimming performance.
Mas technical. Mas technical yung work ninyo this off-season. So we're gonna wrap this up in just a bit. So Ethan, I'm gonna leave it with you because you're the captain here. Right now, for those who are very excited for the upcoming swim season, what can you promise all of the UP fans, supporters, alumni, those who are out there to support you, who are eager to see you guys up in the podiums again and hopefully with championships for both men and women's? What can you promise the UP supporters this year?
First of all, I would like to thank all our supporters ng UP, from the alumni to just supporters overall. And what we can promise you is that we will do our best this season, just like any other nung past seasons, and that we promise na your support will produce something great this season.
And I assume this will be the only time the UP Varsity Swim Team will miss training because we invited them and took them away from their 5 a.m. daily training session today. Maraming salamat, ladies and gentlemen, the UP Varsity Swim Team. Good luck in the upcoming season, and we cannot wait to see what you guys will do. And if ever any records are broken, we'll be cheering you on. Maraming salamat.
Salamat po.
So up next, we're putting the spotlight on dog coach Francis, who will be sharing his insights on force-free dog training and his passionate advocacy for animal welfare. Yes, we have a dog in studio. I'm really excited. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Guys, maraming salamat.
Welcome back, everyone. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. You know, pet ownership is a rewarding journey that comes with responsibility. It's not just about feeding and walking. It's also about understanding their needs and fostering a loving environment. Now, today on the program, dog coach Francis Cleofas is joining us to share his insights on nurturing and understanding our furry companions and how he changes lives, both human and canine. Welcome to It's a Beautiful Day, Coach Francis.
Hello, thank you for having me. Such a wonderful studio. Everybody just seems to be friendly. Chef Ivan just wanted me to taste that.
Yeah, you should later.
Awesome
after the
food.
show, everybody's gonna have a feast.
Right.
Even Stella.
Yeah, she can probably have a small piece.
Can we show Stella? It's not just dog coach Francis joining us, but also Stella's on the spotlight
right there.
today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's so nice to finally meet you in person,
Yes.
dog coach Francis. I always say dog coach Francis, but Coach Francis.
Coach Francis.
It's so nice to finally meet you in person. I remember when I guested on your podcast. Yeah, wait, that's such a hit. Your the dog behind the human podcast, right? But you are a dog coach, and 10 years ago you started in a garage lang in Makati, and now you have a dog ranch in Lipa. Tell us about your journey.
It's actually in Manila, no? Not in Makati. Pero actually in my own house lang muna.
In your own place lang?
Yeah, in my own place muna. I would take it just one dog at a time and then keep them for a few days. And then train them when the pet parents will be away. And then I decided, you know what, it's time for me to open something really small, like a small commercial space land, enough for a few dogs to be there.
Few more dogs,
yes. So probably around 3-5 years doing that, and then moved into a bigger facility in Parañaque. We stayed there for 8 years, and now we just recently moved to Lipa with the bigger space and a new facility, and we called it the Dog Ranch because everywhere else is actually like a legit horse ranch. Like there's really horses and cows and goats everywhere.
Everywhere.
And then when we moved in, sabi namin, why not just turn it into like a dog ranch because it's the dogs that's going to be staying here.
Yeah. Oh, so there's so much space for them.
Yes.
So now how many dogs can you accommodate in your ranch? Maybe like 100 dogs?
Somehow around that number,
I wanna go
100 dogs.
there.
But right now, I have my personal dogs and a few students and a few guests staying with us. So eventually, we'll probably reach that 100.
So you get different kinds of dog breeds enrolling in your school, right? So how do you, because you have this force-free training, right? That's your signature style.
Right.
Let's talk more about that.
All right, there's two school of thoughts right now in training dogs. It's either one, you try to dominate them, which is really famous style of training
I've seen
dogs.
And medyo nakakaawa the dogs when you force them to obey.
Well, some people are actually taking it a little bit too much. Like whether you choose to believe that, hey, I need to be more of like a leader or I need to dominate the dog, then it's up to you. But do not abuse the dog.
Okay.
Right? So the style of training that I'm using, it's not my personal training. Okay? I just copied it from the best minds in the industry. Right? And then tried to put a Filipino touch in it. All right? So we call it force-free training or you can call it positive training, but it's really focusing on bringing out the potential for the dog and then making sure that the dog understands the consequences of the behavior. So let's say if I'm going to be teaching the dog how to sit or just relax, just right now, Stella's just...
Like what Stella's doing right now. See, they're relaxing.
They're relaxing.
Pao is stressed.
Okay? So what I can do is I can give a treat. Oh, can you just please give a treat? Now what we're doing is we're actually rewarding this behavior, so there's a higher probability of Stella or any other dog would just do the same because, you know what, this is very rewarding, right? Rather than if you use punishment, then the dog doesn't explore as much, doesn't want to interact as much because they're scared of getting punished.
Exactly, there's fear involved.
Right, so there you go. Positive reinforcement, making sure that the dog is happy, and I personally follow an international standard called LIMA or Lima, meaning least invasive, minimal aversive training methods.
So now that we're talking about training, Coach Francis, you are going to do a demo on how you force-free train your dogs, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Very simple.
Stella will cooperate.
Steps.
Stella!
All right. Okay, I can do it. Here's the thing about positive training, all right? So you can do it whether you're seated, okay? If you think you have a backache because, for whatever reason, or if you think, I want to be outdoorsy and I want to be active about training, then that's fine. Stella, come.
Okay.
So I actually have a personal preferred tool in training dogs. This is called a clicker. So so it creates this sound. All right, so it's a clicking sound, and each time I click this, a treat is coming. So it's like a video game.
And
right?
she understands
We're trying to gamify the training.
Coach Francis, look, I love that approach. Right now, we're running out of time a bit, but if you can invite some of our viewers here, to those who want to avail of your training, a bit of the services, how can they do that? And of course, how can they learn from you in particular?
Yes.
Well, you can follow me on our socials. I'm on TikTok. I'm on, Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel. You can also listen to me on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Perfect.
All right. So the name of the podcast wherein Anne guessed it was The Dog Behind the Human, wherein we learn about the dogs and then share stories about their humans and everything else about dogs. So just a real quick trick about teaching your dog. Always say yes and then give a treat. Okay, always just say yes and then give a treat.
That's the tip. That's a tip we're going to take away from this.
Right.
Coach Francis, maraming salamat. We'll
Thank
learn
you.
more
Thank
from
you.
your social media, and we hope to have you again sometime
Thank
soon
you
with
so
a lot
much,
more dogs as well.
Thank you, Stella. This has been the best day ever. I'm so quiet. I'm just playing with her.
Yeah, it's the greatest. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us as well. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. And Stella, and of course, we hope you found some inspiration for your own beautiful day.
And we'll be back tomorrow with more positivity and good vibes.
And don't forget to like, share, and tune into our program every morning. Until then, you guys have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much.